Okay, let's sound like a robot today. Not exactly my intended intro, but here we are. Hello, Gender Genesis and other beautiful beings with one by Buzz. I'm back with another live stream. How's it going, everybody? Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. How's it going, everybody? We are here to do a little bit. It's gonna be a short. It's gonna be a quick read Wednesday today. I don't have a huge amount of time, so probably like an hour and a half. Starting 6 minutes ago. But we're gonna be doing some more short stories, mangas, and the like, and just have a chill, nice little visit for this Wednesday. I do have another obligation to get to, which is why I have to skedaddle after not too much time, as I have training. I have training for cat sitting. And so we're gonna do our best to do all that. But yeah, that's gonna be what we're up to. So I hope everyone is having a good day. I don't know if Miss Liz is around, but if she's creeping somewhere out there, happy birthday, Miss Liz. We all love you. Yeah. Otherwise, things have been going pretty chill, you know. Work and stuff is happening. I had my right eye retina like burned. Not really, but kind of. There's a new demo out, or demos, I should say. We posted 2 new updated demos with some new voice work, and I'm really happy with them. I'm really excited. We've been getting some good feedback, and I hope for good things. Otherwise, we keep plugging along. Oh yeah, so if everything kind of went bonkers, I don't think I had anything, I don't know, bad on screen when it went to desktop view for a second there. But I had to type in some numbers to do a login for one of the sites, and I forgot I have hotkeys that I never use set up for OBS, and it was just kind of like OBS just went, oh yeah, all right, and like, wait, no, OBS, stop. Panic. Yeah. But this will be a good, this will be a nice fun time. I'm really digging the lo-fi hip hop in the background. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good time. But we should put on some. I need some good like normal ambience music, you know. But let's look and see what kind of short stories we want to read to start with, because I feel like it's always a good jumping off point, you know. Going back to like the manga that we're reading or looking for visual novels and stuff like that is all well and good. I should definitely look up some visual novels to read ahead of time instead of while I'm streaming. But the short stories are always like nice. I don't know. It's like a good warm up. You never really know what you're expecting, but they're always there. Always comfy. Ooh. Should we read a bedtime story? I was just talking about comfy. Let's see. Let me show you what I see. You see what I see. Mystery short stories to read. Ooh, that might be good too. All right, what do we got? Adventure, African American, Asian American, bedtime, Black, Christian, Christmas, coming of age, contemporary, creative, non-fiction, crime. I don't know what Desai is. Drama. What are we doing? Everything's still good. Okay. Funny. Friendship. Ooh, let's read a friendship story. I want to read a friendship story. What you can do with your book. Favorites. Ooh. The Man and the Lake. Pictures only I can see. Ooh, that sounds good. Recommended story. I'm okay. Let me see. Favorites or pictures only I can see. Let's start with favorites, because it's highly rated. But no, you know what? I want to give this one a try. Pictures Only I Can See by Kyle Sager. What's the audio of this like? Because I might just leave this running until otherwise. This is very loud. Why is it so loud? Oh, it's because I've got the fucking mic going. I don't even need this one anymore. There we go. Okay. I'll turn it real low. I'll turn it real low. Okay, now it's sitting at like a 30 decibels. So we should be good. We should be balanced now. Okay, here we go. Pictures Only I Can See by Kyle Sager. Click. I always wish I could take a real photograph just by blinking, my eyelids acting as camera shutters, silently fluttering, close and open again in a split second. The image projected and then frozen in the darkest of memory, permanent and only mine. Sometimes, on days when I spent all day outside of the apartment, I pretended to do it. I would capture my friends grinning with their teeth sparkling and eyes catching the warm light. I would pause, an unknown stranger waiting for a train, staring out at the road and the cars endlessly going in opposite directions. I always wondered where they were going. It's fascinating. Hey, Miss Liz. Is a bit loud, 25% loud? Okay, still too loud. Interesting, I can turn that further down. How's that? I pause, an unknown stranger waiting for a train, staring out at the road and the cars, endlessly going in opposite directions. I always wondered where they were going. It fascinated me to snap my eyes closed and live in a moment of my own perception for a few more seconds. To drink in the fleeting mundanity of something so unimportant. Sometimes I couldn't quite grasp my fingers and pull back to me the past. Click. Through plastic viewfinder, I watch as the flash brightens and brick wall again. Oof, Jesus, reading comprehension. Adding a layer of white light to its gritty red smoothing Carol M's skin, but at the same time sharpening her edges and plastering a black outlet around her body. I think that one will be nice, I say. She stuck her hair behind her ear and turned away. Half her face is shrouded by her bangs, the end brushing her lips. Okay, she replies softly. Let's go, I'm cold. The alley creates a wind tunnel, as if it was trying to spit us back onto the main road. For a minute, I get the feeling we're the only ones outside like a blizzard is coming, and everybody else in the city is warm and cozy, with their soup cans and bags of rice and hot Coca-Cola, hot cocoa, waiting for the first flakes to fall from the sky. I try to imagine we're in a movie and she's going to step forward and kiss me, but I'm sober, and sometimes you have to be drunk to romanticize things. Sometimes you have to be drunk to believe in things that will never happen. Emily Carol M. beckons. She's left the wall and ambled back down the alley. Her eyes flash towards her. My eyes flash towards her, sweated by stained yellow sodium light, lining the empty road. Immediately, I want to take another picture of her, half-turned, looking like she's in the middle of a decision. Carol M. could never speak to me again, I think, and I would still love her. I'd still want her like I do now. I suddenly wondered if she relished in the way she looks, if she runs her hands down her hip like they're clay and can shape them however she pleases, if she pinches the skin on her stomach and smiles to herself like she's Goldilocks, just curvy enough. I wonder how she looks at me, if the person I really am is a stranger to her, and instead she sees me as a lopsided, helpless, and overly idealistic. But then again, Isn't that the person I really am? Looking at her poised between the brick wall, I marvel at her hair, spiraling up in tendrils like she's underwater. It's mysteriously symmetrical, framing her face. Flying behind her and exposing her previously hidden right eye. The wind parts ways on her high cheekbones, and her eyes are closed. She's beautiful. Carol M is a complex person, yet her personality is without mistake perfectly intertwined and connected with itself, like a fresh spider web. Some days I feel like I'm the spider who spun her, like I know my way around and she feels like home. But most days, I'm the fly, caught entangled in her gluey strings. The more I squirm, the tighter her hold becomes. We've been friends since we were 18, and terrified. Standing in the corridor of the 13th floor dorm, I remember watching hordes of girls coming in and out of the rooms, shuffling from elevators with cardboard boxes, mattresses, toppers with eyes caked with inky mascara, dads held back tears or folded their arms across their chests in protest. Moms hugged and hugged their daughters like they'd never let go. Alone and staring down the long hall, I pretended there was a camera at the opposite end. I closed my eyes and pictured what it would capture as it zoomed in slowly towards me. Past split ends and denim shorts with pockets sticking out, bodies moving frantically in fast motion, but all the while, me standing still, arms at my side. And when I stopped the fantasy to open my eyes, there she was. Blonde and charming, Carol M. Hi, are you Emily? The top drawer of my wardrobe had a messy library of printout photos stuffed in the cookie tin my grandmother used to collect. None of the photographs are of me, but that's okay. I like the idea of keeping a fraction of somebody else's life with mine. If I ever tried to explain that to anyone, they'd probably think I'm lonely and pathetic. But when I show my friends, I keep my mouth shut, and they normally just tell me the pictures are very intimate. They never tell me whether or not they're good, and I never ask. While I'm shivering and looking at Carol M in the alley, I feel a sudden flood of sorrow for myself. The night before last, I watched the history of the entire world. I guess on YouTube, but all I could think about was the countless tortured lives of romantics before myself, and how they were bound to have been millions of untold stories of unrequited love, and that maybe mine didn't even matter because someday it will be forgotten. Now I'm thinking about what makes something significant, and about how later I'm going to write all of this down so that it isn't forgotten. How Carol M looks and how I feel about it all. I'm thinking about Shakespeare, and none of his stories actually happened, but people still remembered them. How real life never compares to what we wish it to be. And even if something devastating comes, there's never sad music playing, and you never look pretty when you're crying. I think about Scarlett Johansson's character, about what Scarlett Johansson's character says in her. That the past is just a story we tell ourselves. Maybe Carol M never liked me in the first place, and now she just feels bad for me. An indifference turned to misplaced empathy. She no longer laughs at the magnetic poems I arrange in the fridge. She spends her time at her friends' apartments and goes on walks alone to the lake. I try to hate her. I try to ignore her text messages and stop flipping for the photos I've taken of her, sliding my thumb over the glossy surface of her face, wishing I knew what it really felt like to touch her cheek. It gets old after a while. Wait, I say to her, and she miraculously pauses in time, balancing on her tippy toes above a sewer grate. My fingers tremble against the disposable camera. I almost bring it to my eye and press the button, but the flash would blind her and ruin the background, freezing the snow that's beginning to come down and hiding Carol M's face. I think about how I'd stare and stare at the photo after I printed it out, knowing it would be tainted by some awful, nostalgic feeling, but not knowing why. Slowly I place the camera in my pocket. Carol M is still and silent, and cocks her head slightly. What? She says. Not impatient, not annoyed. Curious. My thoughts turn, like the sun, coming out from behind the clouds. I really do love Carol M. I don't need to say it to her. I just remember, memories can turn to love when you think about them long enough. And suddenly I'm flipping back through the photographs I've taken in my mind, each lost memory flying by as I lock eyes with her. I see Carol M sitting on a sofa drinking Coca-Cola and looking out a window. Carol M warming her feet on the dashboard of my car in Colorado. Carol M washing off a face mask, bent over the sink, and me looking at myself in the mirror behind her. Carol M helpless on her stomach with her face in a pillow, sobbing for the loss of her grandfather. Carol M rowing on a canoe and wearing a basketball cap too low on her face. It might be over soon. Carol M and I, the years of friendship, I'm not sure why I believe this or how it will end. I don't think it's going to be too bad. I want to chase after her. It feels like she's nearly forgotten about me. I really think I'm going to be okay. Carol M flattens her feet on the sewer grate and relaxes, smiles. Come on, Emily, what is it? She knows me better than anyone else, and I hate it. I hate how much I still want her, how much I love her, and how it feels like she no longer loves me. But I want to remember how she looks now, when I'm the only one she's waiting for, when we're alone in the alley and wasting time before we go out for pizza and a beer. I swallow a smile and feel tears coming in. In a few seconds, I'm going to blink and it's going to be over. I keep my eyes open, letting the peripheral become blurry. Carol M doesn't notice. She's still wearing her silly half grin and tilted head. I think about 20 years in the future, accidentally bumping into each other at somebody's wedding and spilling champagne on our dresses. There's an embrace and a promise to get lunch sometime. But in this fantasy, we probably live far away from one another, and she has a husband. It's hard to picture myself then. So for now, I take one last picture in my mind, before we change. I blink, letting tears spill down my cheek. I leave my eyes closed. I hold it inside my head and wish it would stay forever. Wish she would stay forever. Maybe it will. Maybe she will. Click. That was, it was sad. It was sweet. Little obsessive. But that's love. I think I would have liked if the person in the story wasn't so doubtful of themselves and gave this relationship that they clearly care so much about a chance. But the writing was very, very sweet. If borderline obsessive, but you know, sometimes people are borderline obsessive. How's it going, Liz? Happy birthday, by the way, if you didn't catch it earlier. I wasn't sure whether or not to turn the music on or off, but I feel like if we're doing friendship stories, it kind of fits to have a nice chill friendship tune going on. Can I get rid of more of this? I don't want my thingy on the... Oh, there we go. Got it. Got rid of the boom arm, or some of it at least. Still a little loud. I do like the chill jam. Still loud. Wow, I've got it set at like 5%. That's bonkers. All right. Turn that a little lower then. Hold on. Can I get it to 2? Is 2 a thing I can do? Ooh, wait. This 2. There we go. I don't know if that's even registering now. Yeah, because I have a sound gate, so it has to be at like 4. 2% and it's completely gone. Okay, how about 4%? Ah? Is that better? I could also speak up. I was not reading at full volume because I felt calm. I felt the calm energy would be good for this one. Anyways, that was Pictures Only I Can See by Kyle Sager. I'm feeling pretty chill. Everyone talks quieter than they think they do. Yes. Except when I'm doing character voices in like an action audition. Then I'm too loud. I'm like, damn it, I have to be quieter. I have to tune this down lower. It's always speaking. It's always too loud. But yeah. We're doing some friendship stories to start out with because I thought that was appropriate for a short, chill Wednesday read before I have to head off in like an hour. But yeah. But again, happy birthday. We all love you. Hope you have a fantastic day with your books and your shopping whenever that ends up happening. I know you've been doing some fun visits lately that may or may not have been birthday related, but all the same. But we will read next before we move on to other things. Favorites by Shane Ransom. Last name Ransom, interesting. Wait, did I hit? I want to hit favorites. Oh, did I hit Shane Ransom? Oh, that's why. There we go. I saw a tree and thought of you. Or rather, thought of the way you see trees. I remember when we walked through the ramble in Central Park. A wild place in the center of a place wilder still. Resplendent and emerald in the early summer sun. You stopped suddenly when you saw it. I remember how you cocked your head in appreciation. A tendril of hair escaped from behind your ear. You brushed it back with an unconscious hand. There it is, you said, with such earnest excitement that I couldn't help but feel I was missing something exceptional. I was, as it turns out. You stepped over a little metal fence and wandered into the thicket, leaving me to clamber after you, much as I'd always done. You stopped in front of a tree among others, seemingly just the same, but it wasn't, not to you. Like the way the branches duck and curl and reach around those of the other trees, you said to me. Or maybe it wasn't to me at all. The way they've grown in such seemingly random chaos in pursuit of the sun. You patted it approvingly and laughed a little when you saw I was standing behind you. What do you think? You brought me to see your favorite tree in Central Park. The type of thing I'd never even thought to have. You're always collecting favorites. Or at least you did then. Strange little things. Your favorite brick on the facade of your old W83 or 83rd Street apartment building. The one to the right of the door, covered in lichen. Your favorite letter of the alphabet, G, but only in lowercase, and only in Times New Roman. Your favorite aisle in the local drugstore, the one with the greeting cards. I look at the tree, not really sure what I thought, having never thought of much of a single tree before. I made some dumb joke about seeing the forest for the trees. You shook your head and said, I think it should be the other way around. You were never one for the bigger picture. I never one for the details. You lived in the details, in the small things. You held them close and made them a part of you. I wonder why that tree was your favorite. I thought about that a lot recently. Did you see yourself in the knotted boughs? In the anarchic nest of twigs and leaves? Maybe you felt that you'd contorted yourself around others, twisting around the shade they cast, growing in strange ways in pursuit of the sun. Which was I then? The shade or the sun? That day was perfect. I didn't know it at the time, but it was. Your hand in my hand, your laugh in my ear, the air fresh and green, full of promise. I was one of your favorites that day. A piece in your kaleidoscope, collection of things and places and moments. What an honor that was. The shade came for us, eventually. The darkness, but not that day. That day, the sun shimmered all around us, chasing off the shadows. I don't remember exactly when the clouds rolled in and stole you from me, only that they did. Stole is the wrong word. I suppose a selfish word, a cowardly word. I let them take you, didn't I? I watched as the world grew smaller. When your discarded favorites littered the street and were carried off by the wind, I was afraid. Afraid you'd throw me away like the others. So I left. You're gone now. I'm sitting on a bench. Your bench, or is it mine? I brought a little metal plaque and chose the words for you. A place to rest, a place to grow, bending always towards the sun. I made sure to include a G, lowercase, in the font in Times New Roman. I think you would have liked it. I guess the bench is for me, really. The things we do in the name of others when they're gone are never really for them, are they? Strange. The pieces we pluck from someone's life to define it once it's done. You had so many pieces. I can't help but think the mosaic I've crafted is woefully incomplete. How many favorites did you have that you never thought to say aloud? How many have I just forgotten? What were the shadows you hid that made you a gnarled thing, twisted and contorted? I don't want to think about that. About those dark things that ushered you away, leaving the world empty and barren. You always liked Greek mythology, not a pretentious way. You read Ovid on the subway. Okay, maybe it was a bit pretentious, but I liked it. You taught me about Persephone and then made me Demeter. Did I get that right? I thought only of those dark things for a while, and I'm trying to push them aside. I'm trying to think of the day in the ramble where we did just that. God, your eyes were so bright, your smile so wide. I got sunburned, not badly. It will turn to a tan, you said, with a dismissive wave of your hand. A gesture that seemed to hold all the wisdom in the world. It's hard to describe how light I felt in that moment, as the sun flirted with the horizon and the grass felt cool between my bare toes. You cupped my reddened face and laughed. You kissed me. I would live in that moment if I could. I'd hold it in my mind and let it grow and grow until it consumed me forever. It became my everything. But I can't. I should tell you, the tree I saw today is nothing like your favorite. It's not the ramble surrounded by its kind, fighting below the canopy for discarded rays. It stands alone on a brown, frost-covered lawn. It's tall and straight and uncomplicated. Its branches are bare, reaching mournfully to a blank gray sky. It's not dead, but dormant, waiting for the sun to chase off the shadows. I guess it's my favorite tree in Central Park, at least for now. I started my own collection, you see. It was hard at first for me to notice the details, the small things that make up the big things. I've made a practice of it, a ritual. It helps me be close to you, or at least it feels that way. My favorite chair in the coffee shop on the Broadway, on the Broadway. In the corner where the light flitters through the colorful glass bottles on the windowsill, and you can hear the screams of milk steamer. My favorite street corner bathed in the smell of garlic and butter from the Italian restaurant, where the old man plays violin on his stoop. My favorite subway station, the one where the walls are decorated in colorful mosaics depicting places beautiful and far away. I wish I could show them to you. Maybe you noticed them when you were here. I'm sorry. I think you know that. I hope you do. I'm sorry I ran away when you retreated. I should have gone after you. I thought I'd lost you already then, but I didn't know what loss was. Not really. I'm sorry we couldn't live forever in our park on the day. And that magic we didn't notice until it had gone. I notice it now. When it comes. In my favorites, and in yours. I hold them close and make them a part of me. just as you did. It's quiet here on the bench. Getting dark. I think I see the shadowy things that carried you away. I understand now why you want to escape. I want to go with them too, sometimes. Would they bring me to you? I won't go with them, at least not yet. I think things will feel better in the spring, when you return to me, like Persephone. Did I get that right? Anyway, I want to see your tree again, as it was that day, shimmering in the sequined foliage, bending and yearning, growing. Yes, I think things will feel better in the spring, as they always do in the sun. That was so good! I love that! I'm sorry I stumbled on my words towards the end, but that was so nice. I don't know, some short stories just like, a little, just, gives you that little warm feeling in your chest, you know? I mean, for all I know, this person could be just gone. They could have passed away. They could have so many things. It's ambiguous, but I don't know. The reminiscence of it all is very nice. I kind of want to keep reading short stories. I'm not going to lie. I'm having a good time reading these short stories. Let's see. Sure, what you can do with the book. I'm enjoying these friendship short stories. They're very happy. They're very lighthearted. Okay, so this is What You Can Do With Your Book by Deidre Lovegren. That is a good last name. You present me with a gift bag as if legions of angels would descend, trumpeting your thoughtfulness in remembering my insert celebrity event here. I'm gracious, of course. You shouldn't have. And I mean that. You shouldn't have, because now you are stepping over the line. We are simply co-workers, mothers with children at the same school, neighbors with dogs, old friends from college, or spouses of old friends from college. Regardless, we are not gift bagging. We're not on gift bagging terms, especially the kind that you immediately re-gift to other peripheral friends. Scented candles, cheap chocolate, fuzzy socks, calendars, coffee mugs. You shouldn't have. Because now I need to remember if you were born in March or April. I need to invite you to lunch at the Cheesecake Factory and overpay for complicated chicken salad and Diet Cokes. We will debate for a nanosecond about ordering a slab of artery strangling dessert. We will joke about cheesecake being high in dietary protein. Yet, when the waiter returns from cleaning our half-eaten salads, we will trill together in unison, Oreo Dream Extreme Cheesecake. What's a little heart disease among the gift-bagging friends? You shouldn't have. I'm holding the gift bag in my hands, both of us standing with frozen smiles on our faces. Now what? You are expecting me to open the gift bag, like there isn't a Googleplex of more important things that I need to attend to, but who am I to hold up the unveiling of your selfless act of generosity? Let's just open the freaking bag, shall we? Since you coughed up $13.99 for one of Hallmark's finest, I take my time, appraising the bedazzled foil and colorful ribbons, as if it were the work of a 19th century post-impressionist. As expected, animal-related puns are splattered across the front. Thinking of you, feline fine. Let's go for a drink. Isn't that clever? We both agree that it is. Between forced chuckles, I wonder when we, as a society, quit taking the extra 4 minutes of thoughtfully wrapping presents. At what point did we collectively agree that it was socially acceptable to shove gifts into a bag, not even bothering to remove the clear plastic hanging tag? And as a follow-up, what's the point of gift bags for wine? All questions for another day. It's time for me to cull through the vibrant, colorful tissue paper, fuchsia, electric blue, chartreuse, and see what treasures there is for me at the bottom. Midway down, my fingers touch what you selected. Good God, woman. What have you done? With the size and heft of your gift, it's clear that you purchased me a book. On purpose. Let's get one thing clear. I like to pick my own books. I have a stack of them by my bed. What I'm never going to read, and now I have to add yours to the pile? To compound insult to injury, you're going to ask me about this book when I see you again. I use all of my remaining bandwidth to pull out this publication from your gift bag, read it aloud the title like a sacred scroll, and then find some authentic way to say thank you for the worst present ever. In the meantime, let me ask you one thing. What were you thinking? I mean, let's just say you bought me a cookbook. Neither you nor I are going to master the art of French cooking in our lifetime. I don't think I need a Guiada de Laurentiis hot take on grilled cheese. At this point in American cuisine, we've given up. We've seceded dinner to DoorDash or whatever overpriced shit is shoved into the Home Chef or Blue Apron box. Prepped in an airport hangar and ensconced in enough ecologically toxic packaging and dry ice to make me think twice about driving through Chick-fil-A for the 3rd time this week. Look, neither of us are mincing garlic or zesting an orange peel. Even if I like one of these 16-part recipes, I'm going to have to hunt down tarragon at Food Lion, use 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then let the rest rot in the back of my pantry. Pass. Poetry? If you purchase me a book of poetry for me, it's probably one of your friends or relatives' timeless works, and you're just abusing the Amazon algorithm to jack up their sales. And fun fact, unless you are physically intimate with someone, it's illegal to, in most states, to gift books of poetry. That's just the law. True crime, as opposed to fake crime, Dominic Dune and Eric Larson notwithstanding, I don't think I need to slog through a sick underbelly of mankind. Isn't that what HLN is for? As for a mystery, at my age, most things are a mystery, and socio-political landscape. What's going on with my neck, my spouse, the visibility of my career, my belief in God? What's my children what my children do on the internet, or my cat's ability to throw up exactly where I step? Why complicate a complicated world even further? I don't need any more surprises. Keep your mysteries off my nightstand. Fantasy? Oh my god. If you bought me the first installment of any fantasy series, I will drive over to your house and burn it down. Of course, it is part of a sprawling 6-part hexology with a companion guide listing all of the neologisms with maps. Why wouldn't I enjoy an excruciatingly detailed realm with 100 characters and settings? Although I appreciate the intensive world building some authors has conjured up in their parents' basement, I'll wait until Netflix buys it, effectively ruining it as only Hollywood can do, by ensuring there is a video game tie-in and a family-friendly plush toy. Science fiction? Reread the above. Romance? I mean, that's just cruel. You and I are far past the bodice-ripping stages in our lives. No one with abs is sneaking through our garden gate. and I'm less worried about the deviant Duke of Castle Walterbridge tingling my nether regions, and more concerned about my 401k being ravaged by inflation. Short stories? If I wanted paper-thin characterizations, cliche themes, and a mere hint of plot, I'd write it myself. Oh no. No, 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 no. I can no longer hold my smile as I choke back waves of nausea. You did it. You bought me the #1 New York Times best-selling self-help book. You shouldn't have. This is more of an opinion piece than a short story, but I agree. Most gift giving is dumb. This is interesting that this is under the friendship tag. I mean, it's certainly like the awkward, you know, we're not really friends yet, we're acquaintances or co-workers sort of thing, and then they do something for you and you're like, oh, thanks. It happens between, I suppose. I don't know. But it's hard buying books for other people. You know, like, I will agree that gift giving is difficult. Especially, like, if, I don't know. I've done it a few times to friends, and I usually just do it as a sign of, like, appreciation for them. And I don't know. Whenever I buy gifts for someone, I always try and be pretty thoughtful about it. Like, I don't want to get them something that's just kind of like, oh, I like this, so they should like it, sort of thing. I try and be thoughtful about it, or like get a hint of things that they might like or appreciate. You know, like if they have a Steam wish list, I'm like, ooh, what games are on their wish list? Or like, oh, we were talking about this thing and they really like I don't know, like Little Red Riding Hood artwork or something like that. Like, ooh, this is a cool piece. Sort of things. And that's nice. But when it comes to like, I hate the whole like, you have to buy something for this person for $15 or less. And it's like, this feels forced. This feels like pulling teeth. I've known my mom my whole life, and she's a horrible gift giver. Bless her heart, my friend Janine gave me a guinea pig oven mitts, which, while lovely, I would never buy for myself. I'm not ungrateful, I just know what I like. Wish lists are totally different. Everyone should have wish lists, right? Listen, people have a hard time buying for me, and I'm like, how? I will tell you whenever you want about what I like and what I'm excited for and what I'm interested in. Okay, and I got wish lists. I make a wish list as a reminder for myself and for on the off chance anyone just wants to know what I want. It's really nice because you're like, oh shit, yeah, nice, I got the thing. You bought me the thing. That's so nice. If someone isn't going to buy off my wish list, just take me to get tacos. That's it. Yeah, food is also always appreciated. Wish lists or food. You can't go wrong with meals together. This is true. I love doing lunch out with friends. That's always a good time. Hey, Brian, how's it going? I buy you tacos. Yes, you buy her tacos. It is her birthday. You buy her the tacos. You bought me a game for you. Oh, you did. What did you get? I'm doing quite well. We're just having a little chill short story read session. Might read a little bit of a manga that we've been going through for a little while before I head off to learn about cat sitting. Vampire Survivor, the addiction is real. I've heard. I see a lot of people playing Vampire Survivor. What is it about? People seem to like it. I have no idea. It's one of the things I've been sleeping on. Also, that being said, what should we read? I think I want to do one more short story before we move on to something else. Do we want something romantic, something mysterious, something dramatic? Ooh, adventure might be fun. Funny, high school, happy, historical, horror. It's sad. Science fiction. Western. An adventure might be a good time. It is so good. I don't know how to describe it, so I'm going to pull the description from Steam. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, what is this? Oh, we've read this one. Right, this is the one about the robot. That's right. So we've read that one. Mahalo King Cod Fillet. Interesting. Mow down. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Mow down thousands of night creatures and survive until dawn. The Vampire Survivor is a gothic, horror, casual game with roguelite elements, where your choices can allow you to quickly snowball against hundreds of monsters that get thrown at you. The tag of the game are action, roguelike, pixel graphic, and bullet hell. Okay. My bullet hell has been Atomic Crops, which I've been having a lot of fun with. So maybe when I'm done with that, I'll switch over to Vampire Survivor. As a roguelike, you have different levels where you walk around and kill swarms of baddies that are centered on your grouping. You get XP for kills and level up your weapons. The goal is to hit 30 minutes without dying. Okay. Interesting. That might make for some good times. Okay, question. Do we read Mahalo King Cod Fillet by David G. or Unpaving Paradise by Ruth Migley? I gotta say, Unpaving Paradise is a very interesting title. It's a very intriguing title. Cod fillet might be delicious. It could very well be. We were talking about food. Shall I take you all for lunch? Shall I take you all for an imaginary trip that may or may not involve food? All right. Mahalo King Cod Fillet by David G. Imaginary birthday meal. Yes, let me satiate your minds. Yep. A slate gray sky hung heavily over the President James K. Polk Memorial Rest Area on the Interstate 64 in the southern Indiana. A fueling station, 18-wheelers lined up under bright green lights for a diesel and windshield wiper fluid from an army of apathetic attendants. A mother carrying a styrofoam coffee cup emerged from a Quik-Mart, pulling the collar of her neon pink and light purple ski jacket tight around her neck, with her free hand hurrying her two children across the broad expanse of caked tarmac. A grove of oak trees, damp brown and bare of leaves for months now, peaked above the domed roof of the food court. At the far end of the parking lot, a mountain of exhausted stained snow towered precariously over the red and yellow dumpster belonging to Solid Waste Disposal Incorporated, Akron. Oh, a cacophony of colors and combinations. Frank eased his Kia into a parking spot and surveyed the scene. It was not like the rest of them, hustling to and fro on their way to somewhere else, to Grandma's house for Christmas, perhaps, or home after a work trip in Louisville, or wheeling to Pittsburgh. No, for Frank J. Marone, the President's James K. Polk Memorial Rest Area was the destination. In front of him, 50-foot steel pole held aloft the black and red cowboy hat signage of the Arby's Corporation. The curved lines of the double-peaked crown and round brim glowed a warm red against the cold of December day. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm taking you to Arby's. I'm so sorry. He picked up his phone, smiled, stuck his thumb up, and snapped a selfie. Below the image, he typed, "It's been 12 years since I started this journey. At last, I come face to face with my white whale. Or is it a cod?" He sent it off to his 48,000 plus followers and then scrolled through his timeline. Back to the beginning, 2009. The Roy Rogers outside of Tom River that still serves the Cordon Bleu Gold discontinued nationally in 2005. That one had been pretty easy. Just a quick jaunt down the Garden State Parkway. There and back in a short afternoon. Number 9 on the list, the Mick Salmon Fritters, which he'd found at a barely functioning McDonald's outside of Homer, Alaska. That one had required more doing. An online fundraiser and a series of puddle jumpers. It had started as a lark, the quest for obscure and discontinued fast food items. Something to do, to pass the time. Shits and giggles. After he'd crossed number 5 or 6 off the list of 25 sandwiches and tenders and salad shakers, though the quest had taken over his life, become his identity. Frank set the phone back on his down on the passenger seat and watched it buzz and ding with congratulations missives in the fonts of Arby's. A man shuffled back and forth and spoke to himself angrily, a burned to the filter cigarette hanging from the corner of his mouth. Frank was there to meet a man about a sandwich. Gordon Warmbacher, franchisee of the 16th Arby's restaurant across the upper Midwest and Great Plains. About the legendary Mahalo King cod fillet. Or to be precise, the Mahalo King was the last on his list. That included the KFC Turkey Tender, the Burger King Ostrich Deluxe, and the Taco Bell Cool Ranch Gator Taco. Served exclusively in Louisiana and the Florida Panhandle. He had dedicated the last 12 years of his life to tracking down these items and reviewing them for an ever-increasing number of social media fans and fast food aficionados. Of all the items on the list, the Mahalo King cod fillet had proven to be the most elusive. Introduced by the Arby's Corporation at select stores in 2006, sales had badly underperformed expectations. Reviews were initially poor. People had mocked the incongruity of a New England fish served Hawaiian style. The pineapple slice that sat atop the deep-fried fillet, smothered in traditional Hawaiian huli huli sauce, would, if left for even a few minutes, soak through this sesame seed bun, leaving it soggy and difficult to pick up. The sale of the sandwiches were discontinued after only 4 months, but it had become something of a cult favorite, with a small but devout fan club dedicated to getting it back on the menu. There have been tips, whispers, and rumors of a rogue Arby's restaurant still serving the sandwich. Frank had followed one dead-end lead after another for nearly a year and a half, and had been on the brink of giving up when he received a cryptic direct message from Gordon. It could be arranged, Gordon said, but Frank would need to be discreet. Details need to be omitted. A certain degree of anonymity required. Gordon had a lot on the line. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize I was going to be so loud. Thank you. Oh, you've subscribed to the YouTube end of things. Thank you. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. This story is very random. Yes. Cool hobby though. Do you think he gets pissed if he hasn't if he has something discontinued, but then the place brings it back again? I don't know. Do you lose the nostalgia? Does it all go away after that? Or do you get to be like, I ate it before it came back? Because then he kind of wasted his time eating the discontinued item. But what if you're the reason it came back, you know? 40,000 followers. I would be so upset. Imagine going on this hunt to eat discontinued items and traveling around the country, and then the place is like, psych, it's back. Yeah, sorry, I ruined your YouTube number. 169 was such a great number. I know it's such a good number, but you know, that just means we have to work up to the next 69, you know? Anyway, anyways. Tangent over. Frank opened his car door and walked briskly towards the Arby's entrance and past the man with the cigarette, who cursed at Frank under his breath. He entered, looked around, and it was mid-afternoon, the quiet time between lunch and dinner rush. Brown and tan anti-slip tiling covered the floor in front of the recently modernized counter, manned by 3 maroon-shirted and bored-looking employees. A middle-aged man in a thick-rimmed glasses and a mustache waved to him from one of the booths lining the far wall. Gordon stood and extended his hand towards Frank as Frank approached. He smiled broadly. Gordon squeezed Frank's hand firmly and shook once, up and down. The 2 men smiled across the brown vinyl seating across the table from one another. "It's a real pleasure to meet you," Gordon said, once they had settled in. "I'm a fan of your work. Been reading your blog since, let's see. Well, at least a couple years now." His accent was upper Midwestern Wisconsin. Oh, all right. Well, yep. Or Minnesota, perhaps? That's kind of you to say. Gordon had a fair complexion with pink cheeks. His skin was pockmarked, probably from teenage acne. Despite it, he was handsome. His gray hair was well cut, and tailoring of his lined jacket appeared bespoke. He looked more suited to some place with tablecloths and waiters with extensive knowledge about the wines and cheeses. Frank, in his wrinkled t-shirt and unwashed jeans, felt suddenly underdressed. Midwestern accent. Something like that. I've got my staff working up. It's a little bit too southern. I've got my staff working up an order now. 2 Mulholland cod fillet sandwiches. A side of waffle fries. What sort of pop do you like to drink? That's right, we'll be fine, thank you. Of course. Now, I don't even know why I asked. I should have known. I know you said you would treat me, but really, you don't need to do that. Please, don't mention it. It's my pleasure. He called across the mostly empty restaurant. 2 large Sprites, no ice in mine. One of the women behind the counter nodded. Gordon turned back to Frank. Silence fell over the booth. After a moment, Frank spoke. How do you keep making it? The Mahala King. It's been, more than a decade since it was discontinued? A statement in the form of a question, his voice rising slightly on the last syllable of the final word. Gordon smiled mischievously. Amazingly. Amazing, isn't it? Seems like it was only yesterday I was just starting out with my first Arby's back then, up in Toledo. That was a big year for me. I hate to toot my own horn, but I've come a long way since then. The woman from behind the counter approached tentatively, but put the Sprites on the table and handed each of them a straw. Gordon stabbed the straw through his perforation on the plastic lid, took a long sip, then cleared his throat. When they announced that they were going to stop putting it on the menu, I thought as much of the huli sauce as I could. I bought as much of the huli sauce as I could. I made a call as far as Texas and California, and got the stuff FedEx to me overnight, shipping. Nobody understood why I wanted the stuff. The Mahala King never sold very well, as I'm sure you know. They were happy for me to take the stuff off their hands. Chuckled. I've still got a few thousand servings left in the warehouse over in Sioux City. The rest I just sort of pulled together on my own. The cod, the pineapple, those I get from grocery stores like anyone else would. Of course, the ingredients aren't exactly the same, so they would be if they came through the normal distribution channel, but I think we've done an admirable job recreating it. Gordon took another sip of the Sprite before continuing. What can I say? I just love this sandwich. I couldn't let it go. Of course, corporate doesn't approve of me serving it. He lowered his voice to a whisper. which is why I have to be so secretive. It's a violation of policy. They would take away my franchise license if they found out I'm still serving it off menu. Gordon winked threateningly. Theatrically. Not threateningly. Threatening winks! Frank nodded. I appreciate that, and don't worry, I'm being very careful not to give away any specifics. Gordon looked around the restaurant. He took his glasses off, fogged them with his breath, pulled a cloth from his pants pocket, wiped the lenses clear, and here they come now. A different server, a young man in an Arby's baseball cap, walked towards them, carrying a brown plastic tray. He lowered it onto the table, and then turned and walked briskly away. Voila! Gordon said with a flourish of his hand. I give you the Mahala King. He picked up the cardboard basket that contained the sandwiches and placed it in front of Frank. There's some extra huli. I can't get enough of this stuff. He put the 2 little clear plastic containers next to the sandwich. The liquid was thin and jet black. Frank observed the sandwich. The bun was already soggy from the pineapple slice. The critics had been right about that, he noted. He took out his phone again. Gordon smiled and then leaned his body away from the frame. There she blows! Frank typed out, invoking Mevels once again. He pressed send and put the phone on the table face down. It immediately started to rattle and shimmy towards the edge. Frank took a deep breath and closed his eyes. This is a big moment for you, Gordon said solemnly. 12 years, 23,000 miles, 50,000 followers, Frank recounted. Can I ask you something? Shoot. If you were reading my feed and you knew that I was looking for this sandwich, why didn't you call sooner? Gordon smiled. He tore a bit of a waffle fry and put it in his mouth, chewing deliberately. Well, I suppose I could have done that, but it would have been a little too easy, don't you think? I didn't want to deprive you of the journey. Frank opened his eyes and turned his head towards the window. He was staring. It was starting to snow. Have you thought about what you're gonna do next? Gordon asked. Now that you've reached the end of your list, I mean? Frank watched the lights of traffic slide past on an interstate beyond the parked cars, and the 50-foot glowing sign and the fueling station, and the tower of dirty snow and the bare oak trees. He thought about the drive home. His 1-bedroom apartment with the few pieces of fabricated Swedish plywood furniture. His job managing logistics for an office supply outlet. He thought about Gordon building his empire of Arby's. Finally, Frank turned back to the man sitting across from him. I don't know yet. I guess I'll need to figure that out. Gordon sighed and smiled understandingly. You'll have time for that later, I suppose. What's important is that you've got these Mahala Kings. Gordon picked up his sandwich and held it aloft triumphantly, urging Frank to do the same. For now, let's just savor the moment. Yay! If I traveled to Mississippi for Pizza Hut Taco Pizza and then they just brought it back, I would be upset. I googled it because it was so much detail and it's all fake. This is amazing. Midwest is the don't you know state? I'm trying to I have a hard time pinning a Midwestern accent. But what was it that I think about? There's a person I think about when I try and get a good Midwestern accent, and I'm forgetting now, which is probably why I didn't have a good Midwestern accent. Oh gosh, what is her name? Oh, darn it, this is gonna bother me. This is gonna get under my skin. I don't know, but I guess I picture the Midwestern accent as like almost a stereotypical Canadian accent, a little bit like, oh wow, yeah, G-Bod. Just going to get the fillet, the king fillet. I don't know, it's probably terrible. Anyways, All right, I gotta bring the pups out to do their business. Their business is peeing and Duke. I see. Good. Best of luck. The puppies have been pet thoroughly. Good. Excellent. Fantastic. I mean, if someone says duck duck gray duck, I'll believe anyone is Midwestern. Duck duck gray duck? What does that have? What? Excuse me? What is that? I'm so lost. Duck duck gray duck. Duck duck goose is called duck duck gray duck. Oh, I see. I understand. I gotcha. Ah. Okay. I will switch over to the manga for a little bit, just to give us a little bit of something else. And then that'll probably be where we end off. Not a terribly long stream, as I said, is a pretty short one today. But Read Wednesdays were never intended to be longer than like 2.5 hours anyways. So an hour and a half ain't bad. We will probably have to apply some of our skills though. All right, let's see here. Where was I? Where was I in this? Apparently chapter 17 is where I was. Where I were. All right. Cool. Now then, I'm going to need different music. Or no music, depending. All right. Let's see. I don't think I need any audio effects right now, so I should probably just go to weather, background. Okay. All right. I will do my bestest to manage audio. This is the other half of Read Wednesday, where I try and play audio designer at the same time. It's great. It's fantastic. All right. So I can shuffle you over here, probably? I want to be able to see things, but still be able to read things. Like that, maybe? I don't know. I'll just have you back here. And I can click on it if I need to. Okay. I don't even remember where we left off, so this will be interesting. I guess I got a bit stronger. Oh, sorry, we left off at the boss fight. That's right. You have slain Swamp Ruler, Blue Poison Fang Rasaka. Chapter 17. My clothes are ruined. The sword I just got is broken. My body aches a bit too. But I obtained a better blade than the one from Master Kim Sang-shi. A dagger made from the fang, not bone. A dagger made from Rasaka's fang, able to paralyze due to the leftover venom. Grant's bleed effect can be equipped, stored, or sold. Effect, paralyze. Attack foes have a chance to become unable to move. Effect, bleed. Attacked foes lose 1% of their health every 1 second. The attack stat is more than twice my old dagger. It has paralyze and bleed as well. Compared to that, this is a bit awkward to use. Rasaka Venom. Item class A. Type potion. A pouch that contains the Rasaka's purified venom, obtained by defeating Rasaka, an unlikely drop rate. Drinking it will give you hardened skin, but will weaken your strength. Rasaka's Steel Scales. Minus 20% physical damage taken. Debuff. Weakened muscles. 35. I'll store it for now. Alarm. The boss has been slain. The dungeon interior will revert to normal. Is it over? Hapjung Station. What time is it now? Who are you? How did you come out from there? Didn't you hear the broadcast? A soldier? What happened? Huh? What are you saying now? Could you be a hunter? Yes, that's right, but... excuse me. I will guide you, Sir Hunter. This way. Okay. What happened? Ah, I see what happened. The portal opened up and wasn't closed. Looks like a gate opened nearby. Did the monsters come over? Nearby monsters have been taken care. Nearby monsters have been taken care of, leaving one big monster left. Maybe due to my sense stat, I can feel it. That's the boss. Please, don't take photos. Please, leave quickly. What are the hunters doing? How long are they going to fight? I wish they'd beat it quickly. What a mess. Please, evacuate! That's a lot of damage. What if the land value drops? Priorities. Priorities. These people have priorities. Healer! Please heal the tank! We're trying our best. What are the damage dealers doing? It's not budging! Its defense is too high. Unfortunately, we don't have many magicians. Is it because they were called out on short notice? Excuse me, coming through! The communication isn't working. These ranks are too low. Around 8 E ranks and 1 D rank. Since he's a tank, he can't deal damage, and it's going for a battle of attrition. Ugh! The healers. 2 D ranks and 1. Hey, miss, what are you doing? I need healing. You said you were a B rank healer. Why are you spacing out? Sorry. What's with her? If I retreat, I can't get back up. Even after a week, he still hasn't overcome it. It's to be expected. I also... No. I have to overcome it. The boss is around D rank. Compared to the boss I fought, that's just 1 rank lower. If I can defeat its defenses, if I can weaken its defenses, I can do it! I need to blow that thing to pieces, this stupid rock. Go! If this goes on, we'll all die! It's a high rank, if a high ranked hunter doesn't come... No. The tank might die at this rate. What do you do? What do you want us to do? Our magic is running out! Hmm? Yes! The attack worked! It's collapsing! A bit more! Attack now! We did it! We beat it! What? The attacks didn't work at all until a while ago, but it suddenly collapsed? No. Our attacks did nothing. That was... What was it that just flew in just then? Is that what made it fall down? In the world... What in the world blew up the rock's head? A boss golem that could withstand attacks from 10 hunters was defeated by this? Who just... Excuse me. Yes? Are you talking to me? Did you see who threw this? The hunter over the... Huh? There was a hunter right there a moment ago. The strength. That destructiveness. Is he high-ranked hunter? I didn't think it would fall in one hit. Was its health lower than I expected? Jinwoo? Status. Name. Sung Jinwoo. Level 18. Job. None. Fatigue. 72. Title. Wolfslayer. HP. 2220. MP. 350. Strength. 48. Vitality. 27. Agility. 27. Intelligence. 27. Sense. 27. Remaining points. 0. Alright. I think we've got time for one more. One more before we skid on daddle-do out of here. But I feel like I need some kind of background tone. Maybe we'll do... Oh, it's the hospital, so let's try like an office. An office, bring that down to about there. I do not remember what is happening in the story. Its people are fighting monsters for money, and that's a common job, right? Portals open up into the real world, and if the boss inside isn't killed, the portal won't close and the monsters will invade the real world. When this phenomenon started happening, some people got like an awakening, which is kind of like they're leveled up. They leveled up, they gamified, they became RPG kind of characters, so they got like magic or rogue skills or strength skills or what have you. And Sung Jinwoo was the weakest one who could barely manage to make any money off of it because it is a paying job. He's trying to support his sister and his mother who's sick. And he got a second level up after being the only person left in the secret double dungeon, where he and some others were traumatized and were massacred. I think that about sums it up. But he's got now like game vision, where he's got like stat bars and chat windows and stuff. And we're not sure why. God damn. Dude's shredded. I'm coming in. Oh! I'm sorry. No, it's my bad. Wow. This patient. Was his body this chiseled when he came in? Are you being discharged today? You are being discharged today. Yes. If it's okay with you, could I have your number? Number? Yes, I mean, if you're okay with it. Is there a test result they need to send me later? Oh, God. Oh, boy. Goddamn, dude's shredded. What Randolph says about Puck every week. Listen, when I rolled that nat 20 on pushing the monster, And I was like, yeah, for a total of 31, I'm like, I'm shredded. This is what I've been waiting for. My time to shine. Oh man, it was good. It was good times. Okay, please wait a second. We're out. We're already out of the office. Shit, where are we? Street? On a street. Oh, I gotta turn off. Shoot, I forgot you have to turn off sound effects. There we go. Click. Oh, wait, I have this. I have this, don't I? I'm pretty sure I have this. Don't I have this? Oh, Sung Jin, you're going to school? You're going to school? What, you were awake? It's been a while since I woke up. Be careful of cars on the way. You worked out? A bit. Your body looks more toned, and I think you've gotten taller. Do men still grow after they've turned 20? Stop talking nonsense and take an umbrella. Doesn't look like it's going to rain, and it's heavy. It's a folding umbrella, so it's not heavy. Stop making such a fuss about it. Aww. I guess I'll do the sprint later. 10-kilometer sprint. Warning, fail to comply, the daily quest will bring a punishment associated with the quest. My muscles grew. There's no way that my physical stat changed after exercise for just a few weeks, so it definitely means that my stat affects my body. Since I keep increasing my strength stat, my body's probably changed accordingly. Maybe I put too many points on strength. Ya think? You know, intelligence and other things would do you some good, sir. What happens if I keep putting points into strength? Hopefully not this. Even with the high damage, it's not good without balance. The opposite is the same. Since the synergy between strength and agility is good, I'll put some into that. Health is better than the higher it gets, and sense is more useful than I imagined. Intelligence is the problem. It seems to be related to magic, but do I need this? Yes. I guess this should be fine. You didn't change vitality or intelligence. You only put points into strength, agility, and sense. This guy's a meathead. I knew it. I knew it. Is it the guild? Hunter Sing Jin Woo speaking. At last you picked up! Why aren't you picking up recently? I'm sorry, Mr. Landlord. I got in an accident and was at the hospital. No wonder. Well, that's that, student Jinwoo. I'm calling because this month's rent is due. Ah, yes. If you can't pay right now, should I delay your payment for a month? It's fine. I'll transfer it soon. Click. Double awakening. If I really am an awakened person, then I should be able to make more money. If I continue to grow at this rate, then I'll soon be able to become a top-rank hunter. The hunters kill monsters and make money. The higher the experience, the higher the rank. The more money the magic crystals drop are worth. To beat a high-ranked monster, you need to enter through a gate of the same difficulty. There's a lot of competition for D-rank or E-rank gates that can be entered by the masses and lower-ranked hunters. Because of that, E-ranked hunters aren't accepted by the guild And even if they were, it wouldn't be an easy to find a job. My guild rank is E, and for me, who never experienced a gate before D rank, this is a harsh condition. People are chosen based on the competence, and back then, I could not escape from the title of the world's weakest hunter. Should I just get reviewed and raise my rank? But my awakening will become a wildfire if it's revealed. The masses enjoy gossip and hunters are good subjects. The pay might be better, the more attention I get. But malicious eyes will fall upon us as well. There's a hunter that can gain experience. He gets stronger with time. How is that possible? Can't reveal it until I can be sure. I'll make money first. It would be great if I could enter an attack force first. Huh? This way! I'm Hyang-dun Sok. What's your name again? Song Jinwoo. You're an E rank, correct? Yes. Aha! I know him. He's a pretty famous person. What was his nickname? World's weakest hunter? What the hell? Stop it. It's okay. The most important thing is numbers. As I said on the phone, it's going to be hard for you to fight as a C rank at a C rank gate, so you're exempted from fighting. But I'll pay you 2 million won for filling up our member count. It's a good deal, right? Yes. Then please sign this contract. Sense. Shoom. 5 C ranks. 4 that are lower than D rank. There's a rule that when entering a C rank gate, there must be 10 people or more. At least half of them must be at least C rank. What were the ranks again? 5 C ranks. Ah, yes. Because of that, there are cases where only members make up the attack force. Always a bridesmaid. Excuse me, it seems we're both small fries. I'm Yujin Ho. I'm 22, and the rank's D. I was called here as well under the same circumstances as you. Okay. This guy. What's with the flashy equipment? Sparkle. Are you the son of a millionaire? Then what should I do? Nothing much. Just follow us and take care of the baggage. Inside these are packed food, clothes, and equipment. First aid kit, just about everything. Are we going without a healer? You know how hard it is to bring a healer hunter to a personal attack force. We always did it this way. A force made of only tanks and damage dealers. What a mess. I'm getting RPG flashbacks. I accept that I won't blame anyone else for any accidents inside the dungeon. There's no healer to this, so it's a bit hard to accept. Sir, let's go! We'll beat them all the way, so you don't need to explain so much. It's time we went inside. Stop worrying so much. You said you were E rank. I'll protect you. Alright. It is actually very much time for me to go. I actually really have to go. I didn't notice the time. I gotta go. There's a bunch of cats, so I can go meet a cat. It's a whole thing. Anyways, thanks you everybody for coming by, checking out the stream. I do appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of your days. Happy birthday. I will give you all the pets for you, of course. Much love. Many thanks, everybody. And I will see all of you guys on Friday for some Friend Friday. And we'll be back for some more Chill Read Wednesdays in the future. So, thank you very much. And I will see all of you in the dungeon. Peace out.